AM 560. The Answer.
Very interesting when you look at the trajectory of the mafia-run states versus other states. It's always the same, and I mean always the same in the mafia-run states.
Here's a list of the many tax increases and proposals Democrats in Virginia are considering passing. They include additional local sales tax in all Virginia counties and cities, new personal property tax on electric leaf blowers and electric landscaping equipment, large employer tax, gun and ammunition tax, new income tax brackets, a delivery tax. This would hit you if you make an order on Amazon, Uber Eats, or an order that includes UPS, FedEx delivery, etc. here in Northern Virginia. There's also a tax they're looking at for events, concerts, an investment income tax, storage facility tax, gym membership tax.
And this is how they run. This is how Democrats run. They run on this. And then you've got people that run on, we're going to cut your taxes. We're going to give you your own money, and we're going to let you run wild. Well, how do you combat that?
The diversionary tactic. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to...
As I play this, NBC, CBS, and CNN, all in Studio Xanadu here. They're all talking about Trump's approval rating on immigration is going down. Going down. He's breaking up cartels throughout the country, secured the border, cracking down on waste, fraud, and theft by illegal aliens. And it's going up because Nancy Pelosi's right. People don't pay attention. They don't pay attention at all. So when you hear those taxes in Virginia, would you pay attention to who this new scallywag, ugly, but ugly governor is? Spanberger.
So one race that was decided last Tuesday, Virginia's 7th Congressional District, where former CIA case officer Abigail Spanberger defeated two-term Republican Congressman Dave Bratt. The district in suburban Richmond has not been held by a Democrat for almost 50 years.
Did anyone check the machines? Anybody check the machines?
Antonio Mujica and his partner Alfredo Anzola received a small business loan from the Venezuelan government only months before the recall election. These corporate registration documents from Venezuela show the Venezuelan government owned 28% of the stock of another company they started, Bizta, which adapted voting software for the Smartmatic machines in the 2004 elections. The same document shows a Chavez government minister, Omar Montillo, was on the board of directors. The Chavez government gave Bizta, Smartmatic, and another company a $91 million contract to run voting machines for the 2004 election. The next year, the owners of Smartmatic, primarily owned by Venezuelan businessmen, bought Sequoia, one of the top electronic voting system companies in the United States, for $6.
This was such a scandal, Squirrel. Even Democrats were talking about it.
We recently I actually held a demonstration for my colleagues here at the Capitol, where we brought in folks who, before our eyes, hacked election machines. Those that are being used in many states, but are not state of the art from our perspective.
We're very concerned because there's only 3 companies. You could easily hack into them. It makes it seem like all these states are doing different things, but in fact...
And Spanberger, if I remember correctly in the beginning, what was her title, Squirrel?
So one race that was decided last Tuesday, Virginia's 7th Congressional District, where former CIA case officer Abigail Spanberger defeated two-term Republican Congressman Dave Bratt.
In an area that was historically non-mafia controlled for 30 years. CIA, Venezuelan machines.
And new CBS reporting about a CIA assessment ahead of President Trump's decision to launch what was described as Operation Absolute Resolve.
CIA had been working with the Venezuela government since the 90s, and everyone knew it. Now just to sprinkle a little wrap-up smear.
Merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic.
Thank you, Caroline. Sure. Did President Trump himself ever ask DNI Gabbard to head down to Fulton County, Georgia?
The president was asked and answered that question just yesterday. I've seen a lot of the media in this room get very caught up with the semantics of why Tulsi Gabbard is there. I will tell you why, and the president agrees with this, because election security is essential to national security. And as the director of national intelligence, it is a part of Ms. Gabbard's role to make sure that American elections are free of foreign interference and that American elections are safe and secure. And so the ODNI director is working with the FBI on this effort, and the president wholeheartedly supports both Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard in ensuring that American elections are safe, are secure, and are free of foreign intervention.
Is there any...
It's the domestic intervention that might be the problem. It might be the very domestic intervention that we know exists in this country that's working tirelessly, worked to not just wrap up smear, but fraudulently incriminate Donald Trump as an asset of enemies, foreign and domestic.
Congressional oversight proved minimal. The House Intelligence Committee later acknowledged that CIA liaison relationships with foreign intelligence agencies rarely, if ever, were voluntarily reported to Congress. The scandal exposed a pattern. CIA counter-narcotics programs across Central and South America, Bolivia, Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, operated with minimal transparency, creating conditions for corruption, drug trafficking, and abuse.
All of the things Donald Trump is correcting. It only makes sense. Otherwise, why in the world would Democrats fight voter integrity?
The SAVE Act is expected to be brought to the floor for a vote this week. What are your thoughts on that? Are you going to support the SAVE Act?
Not at all. It's a terrible idea. This notion that we want to put more obstacles in the paths of voters is just what Donald Trump wants, fewer people voting. I want every legal citizen in America to be able to vote without obstacles.
Is that why you represent a sanctuary city, sanctuary state? Is that why you have enabled illegal aliens to steal money intended as entitlements to Americans? And we could argue that. Makes sense.
I just spoke with the president about this. It is a dinner at the White House. It's the people's house. It's also the president's home. And so he can invite whomever he wants to dinner.
And all Democrats from sanctuary areas embroiled in scandal, not invited.